Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. My name is Oyinkan for those of you who are new here, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome and thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the first of a 5-part series I'm calling Little Me Got Married, and I'm so excited about this one. Altogether, I'm going to be making 5 videos in this series and I'm going to be sharing them every Wednesday in October. So if you don't want to miss anyone, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss it when I post. Now, if you're wondering who this series is for, I would say this is for every girlfriend, every fiance out there, everybody who's just gotten married, every young wife out there who's navigating the newness of marriage and trying to get used to certain things that come with this new season of life. If you're not yet in that season but you aspire to marriage one day, or you just like this channel, you like my face, then you're also welcome to watch. Everybody's welcome to watch, really. I must also say that the goal of this series is not to offer generic marriage advice and tell you how exactly to behave so that your marriage is going to work. Not necessarily. What I'm here to do is basically to share my experiences and hope that I can offer peace, offer some hope and clarity, help you know that you're not alone in feeling certain things, and I hope inspire you to make good decisions from a place of maturity and wisdom as you navigate this new season of your life. So if that sounds like anything you are interested in, please keep on watching as we get into episode 1 of Little Me Got Married. All right, let's get into it. So as you can already see from the thumbnail and the title, this first episode is going to address the issues of anxiety and uncertainty as you navigate the beginning of a marriage or your journey towards marriage. Am I giving up my life? Have I given up my life to be with this person, to, do this thing called marriage? Because I know that sometimes it can feel like that. Even when you're with your best friend, your person, there's just moments when you can feel like, okay, wait, there's a lot I'm having to adjust for this person. I hope I'm not giving up everything that is true to me and embracing this. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's unpack that a little bit. I guess a good place to start would be to talk about what my relationship with my husband was before we got married and the things that maybe triggered uncertainty in my life, right? So I was dating somebody who's been my best friend since high school. Like, we had been best friends since high school, and then later on in life we kind of reconnected and we started dating say 2018 thereabouts. And we at that point we were not trying to just date for fun. Of course, it wasn't going to be a train smash if things didn't work out. Like, if things didn't work out, we're grown-ups, we're mature people, like, everybody moves on and it's fine, right? But the purpose for which we went into the relationship was, okay, like, I feel like I'm at a good place where I'm ready to date for marriage. He's ready to date for marriage, and we kind of did that, right? So yeah, that's how we dated. And in the first few years of our relationship, it was long distance because he lived here in South Africa and I was still living in Nigeria, right? And then we navigated the distance for a while, and then in 2020 I moved to South Africa to pursue a honors degree and a master's degree. And that way we could see each other more often and stuff like that. I definitely wanted to get my postgrad degree, and it just made sense to come here since the person I was dating and hoping to marry one day was living here, right? Now, all of this I am saying to say that the dynamics of our relationship were such that I had to kind of shift certain things in my life or live with the knowledge that if I do marry this person, things like relocation, things like being in a new environment that I'm not used to, and kind of rethinking my career, building again from scratch, were going to happen to me or for me. I don't even know whether to say to me or for me, but yeah, those were the things that kind of led to a little bit of uncertainty and anxiety for me to think that, could I possibly be giving up my life and my normal for this person? And is that okay? Now, with all that being said, I think we should now talk about the things that lead to anxiety for other people as well, right? First thing I would say is moving or relocation. And relocation doesn't necessarily mean you going to another country. It means you just leaving what you are used to. The Bible even says that, like, you will leave your father and your mother. A man will, a woman will. You leave your father and your mother and you go and live in this guy's house. That alone in itself, like, can make you a bit anxious or uncertain. Like, okay, am I really ready to join my life with someone like that? That's one thing. Also, the merging of like your visions, your dreams, your goals. I feel like if you are in a healthy relationship, then you should be talking about your goals for your lives, just your visions for the future and stuff. And so it's, in as much as you guys might have similar values and be compatible on those levels, it's also expected that not every single thing is 100% the same. And so merging your goals, your aspirations with someone else's can be a bit of a, tricky process. And that can also lead to some anxiety. Another thing is the vision that you might have had for your life. For me, for example, I know that for the longest time, I didn't actually envision myself living outside of Nigeria. I envisioned myself building like a beautiful, amazing career in Nigeria and just living there for years and years, right? And I imagined the kind of house I wanted to have, the kind of cities I wanted to live in, and things like that. So in summary, your vision for your life and the way you've imagined your life to be can also be, a source of anxiety, because you're thinking, okay, is this vision going to come to pass with this person by my side? Or am I going to have to change a few things? And I understand that change can be a bit of a scary process for most of us, but at the end of the day, you need to understand that as long as you're with the right person, you guys will come together and make a beautiful life together. And you might not know all the details of that life from the first year or from the moment you even say I do, but that is also fine. Life is not supposed to be lived with you knowing exactly what the next day and the next day is going to hold. So that's okay. That really is okay. Another thing that leads to anxiety, oh my gosh, and this one I despise so much, is other people's experiences. It's 2023 and we live in a world where everybody is very, very loud about the toxic things. But when we hear people talking about the right things and the good things that they have going on for them, we try to just, shush them up. Don't talk about it too much. Don't get eyes on your good thing, blah, blah, blah. And so the negative ones are getting, most of the amplification. Everybody, everywhere you turn, every other day you get on the internet, you see your couple goals people. They're breaking up. They're getting a divorce. All that. And so all those negative experiences, or even negative experiences, within your family, within your circle, those things can also lead to a lot of anxiety to say, okay, wait, if this could happen to so person, then wouldn't it happen to me as well? Like, how much more me? But then you need to understand that no two people run the same race, and you cannot base your experience of something that you know nothing about on what other people have experienced. This is a whole life's journey with two extremely entirely different people. You cannot use their example or exactly what happened with them to, project your own future. So don't let other people's negative experiences be the source of your anxiety that makes you feel like your own marriage would not work out, or makes you feel like, oh, marriage is a scam. Marriage is not a scam. God created marriage. God doesn't create scams. So trust me, marriage is not a scam. Marriage is a good thing in and of itself. And if two people who really want it to work and are ready to put in the hard work come together, then I promise you that marriage is definitely going to work out very well. Okay, so the next thing that I feel like causes anxiety and uncertainty amongst precisely women is motherhood and the thoughts around motherhood, right? So we all know that motherhood is a big job, and I'm particularly saying motherhood here, not parenthood, because I feel like I'm talking mostly to women, right? Motherhood is such a huge thing. It's such a big job, and we see how hard the mothers in our lives, from our own mothers to even our friends and family who have kids now, and especially those who have young kids, oh my gosh, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of, trying to make sure that they are alive, because these people can't be alive without you. It's like that. So yeah, it's a lot of work. And for a lot of women, I find that, marriage comes with the expectation of motherhood, right? And I'm not talking about other people's expectations. I'm talking about your own personal expectation, right? Now, even though you go into marriage sometimes maybe planning not to have kids immediately, planning to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, you also go in with the knowledge that because sex is happening, a child can happen anytime, in spite of all our precautions, right? You kind of have to go in with that like reality check, right? So yeah, that fear can also hinder a lot of people from, just enjoying that space. Motherhood takes a huge toll on most ladies. It's our bodies that carry these children. We're the ones who most times have to take time off work and maybe have to put our career on pause, just to take care of kids and stuff like that. And so that fear or that anxiety around that topic can, make a lot of people feel like marriage is them throwing their life and their independence and their progress away. And if that is you, I want to assure you that you can still navigate, these different things. One thing doesn't have to die completely for the other to thrive. Your goals, your aspiration, your career doesn't have to die completely for you to thrive in marriage or in motherhood. So I just want to encourage you. I mean, I'm not a mom yet, but I know that I will be one day. And do I get scared of it sometimes? Yes. But do I know that God, who has seen me through till now, is going to see me through then? Yes. So I rest. So I know that I'm going to be okay. So that I know that this desire of my heart to be a mother one day is not something that's going to be the end of my life. My life is big. My life is beautiful. There's still so much I'm going to be able to do with myself, and you're going to be able to do with yourself when you are a mother. We have so many amazing women around us who serve as examples of that, who are doing phenomenal things, even though they have children. And so children are not a burden. They are not a liability that's just going to end, all the good stuff in your life. I really want you to bank on that. And the last thing I'm going to mention, which is a source of anxiety or uncertainty, is the desire for control. Now, let me explain this to you. Dear ladies, see, I'm not judging you for your or our desire for control. Society is built such that even from while you are small, if something goes wrong in a household, there is a higher chance of fingers being pointed at the lady first before the man is examined, right? Even when it is clear that the guy is at fault or whatever. So I understand where this fear and where this sudden need for control and need to be on top of every single thing, to make every single decision, to make sure this thing is twice a week and that thing is 5 times a week, and these things never actually happen and nobody ever makes a mistake. I know where that comes from, and it's okay. But if you are going to get married, if you desire marriage, if you are married and you're starting out, one thing I feel like we all have to do is relinquish our desire for absolute control and just rest. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, right? Right now, I think I have covered all the things that I think cause anxiety and uncertainty. And if there are any other things you think, are the sources of this anxiety, please leave them in the comments. Now, I'm going to talk about a few things that I think we can all do to navigate our anxiety and to come out on the other side of, uncertainty, and just come out, feeling more empowered, more confident, and more certain that we are doing the right thing with our lives and we're not throwing our lives away by getting married. The first thing I would say is pray. Now, I know that everybody tells you pray. There's no problem you have in this world that they don't tell you pray. But it's just the truth, really. Everything that you go through in this life, the first thing you need to do is pray. And by pray, I don't mean, lock yourself up for 3 days and start to, scream and shout and act like God is some weird being that God is your father. God is your father. So what I'm asking you to do is have a conversation with your father about how you, his child, are feeling. God really cares about your feelings, your emotions, and marriage is such a beautiful thing to God, so much so that he compares his relationship with the church, he compares it with the earthly relationship of marriage. So you can tell that marriage is something that he values, right? And so if you are having issues or you're having anxiety or uncertainty around the topic of marriage, whether you are scared to get into it or you are in it and you're not really sure that this is how it's supposed to be because you are new to this, then take it to God. Don't wait for everything to just figure itself out. Let God be in the middle of your feelings, okay? God is not afraid of our big feelings. That's one thing I want us to understand. We say things are big feelings, and then in the same way we say God, like there's nothing that's bigger than our God. So take your big feelings to your bigger God and let him, help you. Let him navigate those anxieties, those troubles with you. In our hearts, a lot of times we don't share our problems because we think it's a petty little problem and people are going to judge us. The one person who is not going to judge you is God. So take it to him and he's going to speak to you. The good thing about God is he knows each and every one of us. He knows how to speak to us. He knows the best ways to basically get across to us, his children. So you can be sure that if you take your issues to him, if you take your troubles to him, he's definitely going to find a way to connect with you in a way that you're going to understand it, and you're going to be able to apply, what he's saying to you, and you're going to, just become more confident in this decision that you're making in this new season of your life. Okay. Next thing I will say, and this is also very foundational, very important, is make sure you are with the right person in the first place. Now, ladies, I know that breakups are hard. I know that our feelings are very delicate a lot of time. But if we're talking marriage, then we need to understand that hard decisions might be necessary. And that's just what it is. You need to check yourself, check your relationship, and make sure that you are with the right person, and that this person you are with is actually worth the changes or the decisions that you are making. Okay, imagine you traveling halfway across the world to go and be with a partner who doesn't treat you right, and this person doesn't treat you right, doesn't have integrity, and this person doesn't have integrity. When things go south, you can't really blame them entirely, because you saw the signs. I know that this thing I'm saying can come across as a little bit harsh, but I just need to be truthful with my sisters, okay? I've also been in a toxic relationship before. I know what it looks like. And I know how long, or not really long, I wasn't in it for long, thanks to God. But I know how each day of that was. And I know that with each passing day, I was telling myself in my subconscious that this relationship is not it. You're wasting your time here. This person is not for you. Your values don't align. Your vision for the future, they don't align. What are you doing here? Okay. And it was very painful, but it took a lot of courage. But I eventually had to end things and say, okay, look, no, I'm sorry, but yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Okay. And so you kind of have to do that with yourself. There's nothing in this world that says you cannot date, a few people before you get the right one. I'm not saying you should be a serial dater and you should always be in love and blah, blah, blah. But look, there's nothing that says, there's this funny standard that I hear that a lot of people are even putting themselves, so my first boyfriend must be my only boyfriend. Darling, if your first boyfriend turns out to not be the person you thought he was, are you going to give up your entire life because of this thing you want to be able to say, oh, my first boyfriend was my only boyfriend? No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. What is important is I found a person whose values, whose vision, whose goals, whose personality aligns with mine, and we are building something together. So if you feel like you don't have the right person that you're doing this with, I need you to talk to someone you trust and decide on the way forward. And if you check yourself, check your relationship, and you find that you are with the right person, but you still have certain concerns, certain things that are leading to anxiety, then it is very important to talk to the right people. And that brings me to my next point, which is to get counseling where it matters. Whether you are, looking to get married or you are married already, counseling is actually very important. Now, let me break this down. If you are in a dating relationship, it's very important to have someone or people who are, farther along than you are in life, that you are accountable to, that that, okay, this person can tell me the truth about relationships and what my relationship even looks like on the outside, okay? If you are, almost married, if maybe you guys are already engaged, preparing for your wedding, please get counseling. I know that especially in the Nigerian context, marriage counseling is something you just do to tick a box so that the church is going to get you guys married. But if you feel like maybe they're not paying enough attention to you guys in your church and it feels like you're just ticking a box, then there are a lot of even private counselors that you can go to. My husband and I went to a place called Eden Academy. It was virtual and it was beautiful and we loved it, and it helped us start thinking about the right things and talking about the right things. Okay, so get counseling, and when you have your one-on-one session with your counselor, express your anxieties to them and let them help you navigate that. Okay, and if you are married, don't let anybody tell you that it is only marriages that are not doing well or marriages that are already in the mud that get counseling. That is a dirty lie. Sometimes you just need somebody to step in and, kind of help you navigate some things that you guys are struggling to figure out, and that is okay. As long as that somebody is not just a family member, a friend, just somebody random that you're speaking to, as long as they are a trained counselor who is equipped to kind of help you navigate this properly, then please talk to someone when you need to talk to someone. No man is an island, and sometimes we can't all figure things out just by ourselves. Sometimes we need to talk to the people who God has gifted and equipped for the things that we are feeling, so that we navigate those things properly. Okay, the next thing I would say is take your anxieties, your uncertainties, your worries to your partner, but don't go to them with anxiety or with agitation. When you're talking to them about, okay, these are the things that bother me, what do you think? Do these things also bother you? Are these things you can change? Are these things you think we need to talk to someone about? Don't go from a place of being flustered and being confused. The thing is, if you don't have these conversations when you're calm, then they're going to come up when both of you are maybe in an argument or something, and you guys are not going to be able to reason well together because everybody's agitated now, and sometimes the conversations you have even on date night are about uncomfortable topics. I need us to get used to having uncomfortable conversations, and not in the context of fighting. It's not until you are fighting that a conversation is uncomfortable. Sometimes you're smiling, you guys are talking, you're trying to iron something out, but it's not very comfortable, but it is necessary. So please talk to your partner, let them know, okay, these are my concerns. This is what I think you can do about it. This is what I think we can do about it. Let's talk some more. Let's just grow together. Let's talk together. Like, there's so much that you and your partner can figure out together if you guys would just communicate, as opposed to bottling things up. Okay? And the last thing I would say helps with anxiety and uncertainty around marriage is rest. Guys, this is something I was talking about before, and I had to nip it in the bud and save it for now, because this is such a vast topic. Like I said, as women, as African women, we are taught to have lives that are perfect and faultless. And because of that, we want to be in control of everything. We don't want to leave anything to chance. And that includes the dynamics of our, dating and marriage relationships. In as much as there are some things you need to, put a firm foot on and, be very, very strict or firm about, there are also some things that are beyond your control. You need to understand that you being with this person does not mean you've come to take charge and control of their lives. It means you've come to partner with them to build something together. So sometimes we actually need to relinquish our extreme need for control, and we need to rest. Rest is a sacrifice before God, even, because life can be so uncertain. But when we rest, it shows to God that we're saying, oh God, I trust you. God, I trust you to give me a good life. God, I trust you to make things work, because I've come to you before in the secret place and I've expressed my problems, my anxieties to you, and I trust that you're helping me navigate them. So rest. I'm not saying be complacent. I'm not saying lose your confidence. I'm saying be more confident. Rest. Don't feel like you need to control every single thing. Practice with the little things. And as you go along, you find that even in the bigger things, you're able to just operate from a place of rest, from a place of understanding, from a place of love, as opposed to dealing with things from a place of that agitation and the need to be on top of everything and get everything 2000% right. So yeah, that's what I have to say to this, guys. And so with that, I have come to the end of the first episode of Little Me Got Married. Now, there are a few things I would love for you to do for me. The first thing is to leave a comment. Okay, so let's continue this conversation in the comments. I don't want these videos to be extremely long because these topics are very, very broad. So if there's anything else that you think causes anxiety, or that you think people should know before getting married or in early marriage, please leave it in the comments and let's continue this conversation there. Let's all learn from each other. Let's all grow together. The next thing you can do for me is please like this video, because by liking this video, you're making sure that the YouTube algorithm kind of promotes this video to other people so that they would, watch it. So if you want the right people to see this video, then the way you can make sure of that is by liking the video. The next thing I need you to do is share this video with somebody who needs it, or somebody who is in any of the seasons of life that I have just touched on. or somebody that you just want to have this conversation with, maybe share this video with them, and yeah, let's get it in front of as many eyes as possible. And lastly, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and hit the notification bell as well. All right guys, whew, I'm so happy that I have finally started this, and I'm so happy to be done with the first episode, and I'm looking forward to the feedback that this video gets. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this, guys. Thank you once again for tuning in to watch this video. Don't forget to check next week Wednesday for episode 2. I will see you then, and I really hope that you stay blessed, stay safe, stay beautiful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.